Hello, welcome back to Worldview Connections. I'm Isaac Matthews, and this is our Worldview Mysteries series Aliens and UFOs. We're talking about reportings of UFO abductions, and we'll be defining close encounters. But what do you think about this? Leave a comment in our videos. Have you had experiences with any of these kinds of things? They really started kicking off in the mid 1950s. The people would claim they saw a UFO or they were abducted. Um, Question: what would you accept as good evidence if your neighbor or friend told you that they were saw a UFO or experienced something? Would you want to see a picture? Would you want to see evidence of some kind, a recording? So let's define some of the close encounters with aliens and UFOs. There are seven kinds. The first kind is visual sightings of an unidentified flying object, seemingly less than 500, 150 meters away. So 500 feet away, that show an appreciable angular extension and considerable detail. So they saw something. An eyewitness report, they'll say, "Oh, I saw a strange object in the night sky, and it was, just over there, the hill over my house or something." So that's close encounters of the first kind. Close encounters of the second kind, a UFO event in which a physical effect is alleged. This can be interference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device, animals reacting, a physiological effect such as paralysis or heat and discomfort in the witness, or some physical trace like impressions in the ground, scorched or otherwise affected vegetation, or a chemical trace. Close encounters of the third kind, UFO encounters in which an animated entity is present. These include humanoids, robots, and humans who seem to be occupants or pilots of a UFO. Now, when you look at close encounters of the third kind, UFO researcher Ted Blocher proposed six subtypes for the close encounters of the third kind. And if you want to read through those, you go ahead and pause the screen and read through those, A through F. But some people disagree with this, that, generally you could go with the basic definition. But let us know what you think about that. Close encounter of the fourth kind, a UFO event in which a human is abducted by a UFO or its occupants. In the Journal of Scientific Exploration, it was argued that the fourth kind should refer to cases when witnesses experienced a transformation of their sense of reality, so as to also include non abduction cases, where absurd, hallucinatory, or dreamlike events, visions, are associated with UFO encounters. Uh, Close encounter of the fourth kind, a UFO event in which a human is abducted by a UFO or its occupants, and the film The Fourth Kind makes reference to this category. Close encounter of the fifth kind, where a UFO event that involves direct communication between aliens and humans. This type of close encounter is described as bilateral contact experiences through conscious, voluntary, and proactive human initiated cooperative communication with extraterrestrial intelligence. So, this is their meeting with people. There's an interaction between some leader of our humankind or a personal experience, and they voluntarily seek each other out. There's some people report experiencing a telepathic communications. They can speak through their minds with each other. Close encounter of the sixth kind. This is interesting. I'll be honest with you. I learned a little bit about this as I was doing research. I wasn't aware of some of these later ones. This is where there's a death of a human or an animal associated with a UFO sighting. Though some argue this could or should be considered a more severe example of a second kind encounter. So some people don't feel like this should be its own little category, subcategory. But the last one, which is interesting, and we've been talking about, is some of the references that people have interpreted from scripture of ancient religions and major religions, is close encounters of the seventh kind. And we'll finish on this one: the creation of a human alien hybrid, either by sexual reproduction or by artificial scientific methods. So, what do you think about this? There are people many researchers and ufologists that claim we are the children of these hybrid species, aliens with a hominid here, as you see, and that the Bible supports that there are ancient records of the Hindus that support that. What do you think? Let us know. And thank you for joining us on Worldview Connections. Stay with us, there's more to come.